And we're back. Alright everyone, I'm here again interviewing my roommate for the third and final time. Today we're going to discuss how Vegeta is the definition of a foil character in Dragon Ball Z. Patrick, take it away, bud.
Alright, so before we talk about how he is a foil character in Dragon Ball Z, we got to talk about what a foil character is. So in literature and anything really, you have two types of characters. Static characters that stay the same. This would be like Goku, for example, because he's always the good guy, never really becomes a bad guy. And then Vegeta, which he is the definition of a foil character because of, well, we're about to freaking tell you. So Vegeta starts off in the show. Mind you, Toriyama did not like Vegeta from the get-go. It's kind of cool because that kind of plays into how his character changes a little bit. So Toriyama puts Vegeta in. He was supposed to be a villain, you know, like from another planet. It's actually emulating Superman, because that's when they started going with Goku was sent from planet Vegeta, and then you know how like General Zod came,
right?
And Superman's kind of like, yeah, exactly. So Vegeta, he obviously has survivor syndrome, which if you don't know what that is, it's kind of like survivor's guilt, but it's very amplified. It's like he's got like that bitterness towards the world, because honestly, he's out of everyone, he watched his planet blow up. Mind you, he's Prince Vegeta, so he was the prince of that planet. Of course. And so I mean that plays into his character, and that will come in later. So going on, first time you see him, excuse my language, he gets attacked by Goku, and then he disappears. And then later in the Frieza arc, he has a lot of pride, and he's like, you know, I'm gonna be the Super Saiyan, which at this time, mind you, when the show first released, no one knew what the Super Saiyan transformation was. Right. So he thought he was a Super Saiyan at the time, which he wasn't. Frieza kicks his butt, and then eventually Frieza kills him. Mind you, also during this arc, he's supposed to be a villain, but yet he helps out Goku's son, Gohan, and Krillin. So they kind of slowly, like, I mean, if he was all that bad, then why would he help someone out that he doesn't, you know? Yeah. So then when he dies, mind you, technically still a villain at this point, Goku goes to fight Frieza. There's one scene which, if you watch the Dragon Ball Z show, if any of you guys watch it, you'll remember a lot, because for whatever reason they had Vegeta naked in the scene. Don't know why. Vegeta's talking to Goku, and he's saying, he's like, you know what you are, use your pride, you know, get some pride and kill Frieza. This all has to do with because Goku's having a hard time killing Frieza at this point. So that motivation kind of gives Goku the motivation to use a spirit bomb on Frieza. So as you see, Vegeta's starting to slowly change, because why would he help out Goku? It doesn't make any sense. Like, what's the motivation there? Especially since he wants to defeat Goku, because he thinks Goku is like the trash of the Saiyan race, which he's actually not. So fast forward, you know, Goku kills Frieza. In the next arc, Future Trunks comes out. Okay. Well, the thing about the Future Trunks arc is Trunks is Vegeta's son, for those who don't know. So when Vegeta first sees Trunks, he's just kind of like, I don't know, he's just kind of very cold towards him. Trunks is, we could talk about Trunks all day, but he is an amazing character because no matter what, he kind of he's always the underdog, and he knows that, and since he knows that, it kind of plays into his character. Well, Vegeta kind of has an issue with that, because he's like, why are you so weak? You know, you need to be strong, you need to be stronger, you need to be stronger. Of course. Well, it's kind of cool because Vegeta ends up going Super Saiyan because he has resentment for himself. This is where we start seeing that character change. Right. He has resentment for himself, not only because Goku's better than him, but then he realizes, like, wow, why am I so, you know, like, where did I screw up at? You know, like, why am I so bitter and stuff? So then there's actually a scene with him in the rain. He's thinking about his wife and his kid. Now, granted, he kind of brushes them aside to go Super Saiyan, but then at the same time, you have to remember he had the thought. And I mean, if it didn't play into his life at all, he wouldn't have thought about it. Yeah. So he goes Super Saiyan. So then he kills one of the androids, gets his pride back. So now he's kind of that prideful, boasting guy or whatever. And then throughout this, his pride keeps getting squashed because he goes to fight Cell. He purposely lets Cell go into his perfect form because he wants to prove that he can beat the toughest of them all. Right. Well, Cell kicks his ass. So then his pride is like, there's actually a scene where he's crying about it. He's like, he's so sad. And then, so then fast forward, you have Gohan fighting Cell in his perfect form for the sake of the Earth. And then Cell does it. I don't know why he does it because he's doing a Kamehameha against Gohan. He's able to shoot a blast while he's doing one move, and it skips everyone and it hits Trunks in the chest. That's straight in the chest. Kills Trunks. It's implied that he's killed. So at that point, Vegeta freaks out because. All right, so he freaks out over his son. What's that say? What's that tell you? If he's freaking out over his son that he didn't care about in the first place, what?
Character development.
Exactly, character development. He's actually starting to develop feelings for other people instead of himself. So then he goes crazy on Cell. Gets his butt handed to him. So then after that ends the Cell arc. And then at the end of the Cell arc, Vegeta says, "Hey, I'm gonna go train some more." Because he's always a distant character. That's why his character is so cool. Because they just keep building. So now we're in the Majin Buu arc. For those of you who don't know the Majin Buu arc, it's one of the most controversial arcs because a lot of people thought the show should have ended beforehand and had Gohan basically pass the torch from Goku to Gohan. Well, anyway, they kind of did that. So so you have this guy who's developed. He's kind of worked on his pride, kind of worked on his competitiveness, so to speak. And him and Goku go to a freaking tournament. Mind you, Goku's dead at this time. So there's a lot that plays, into it. So this is where you really see Vegeta's character. Like you can tell he's still battling sins of the past. So far we're talking about this, and people are like, well, how has he not changed? Hasn't really changed. He's only changed a little bit. We're about to get to the point where he starts making dramatic changes, and you actually see him like develop as a character. That's what this whole conversation is about, and we're actually starting to get to that point. So Vegeta enters this tournament. He gets the Mark of the Majin, which is just a giant M on his head. What that does is it's kind of like, I don't know, I kind of parallel to like the Mark of the Beast in the Bible. It it taps that like hatred in you. Well, his hatred is geared towards Goku. It's meant to be a mind control device, mind control thing. But he is so strong as like his willpower that he doesn't want to like help, help Majin. He wants to like kill Goku. So you see this dark part where he kills a ton of people. And it's like, it's like, this is not the same Vegeta that we saw in the last Cell arc. So then he fights Goku. Actually beats Goku. Mind you, Goku's in his dead form, so if Goku dies, he's like disappeared forever. Yeah. So then you see a really cool moment here. So now you have Trunks when he's a kid and Goten, which is Goku's second son. Okay. And what's really cool is Vegeta, after he defeats Goku, he still has this Mark of Majin, so he's super strong. And because basically, like, your body ignores pain with that. So he's basically about to die. You see blood all over him. It's awesome. If you guys haven't seen the Goku Majin Vegeta fight, watch it, and then watch this scene I'm about to talk about. Trunks approaches Vegeta because kids don't know about how what bad
Right.
Like when you were a kid, you always viewed your dad as like a superhero, right?
Yeah.
Because I did, And so then Goten and Trunks approaches Vegeta and is like, what's going on, Dad? What's going on? And then Vegeta, first time he hugs Trunks is in this scene. He hugs him, and he's telling Trunks how proud he is of him and stuff. And then Trunks is like, "What's going on? What's going on?" Because he's not used to this behavior. So then he knocks Trunks out, and you might be asking like, "Why? And then he knocks Goten out. Here comes Piccolo. Piccolo is talking to Vegeta, and Vegeta kind of has that insight. He's like, "Take the boys and go." He's like, "I'm gonna kill Majin Buu. Make sure you wish all the people back that died today," because from where he killed people earlier. Because he's kind of having that insight, like, wow, this isn't right.
Right.
So he does. It's a final flash, but he does it with his body, and he basically blows up his body, and presumably kills Majin Buu, but Majin Buu comes back.
Right.
So that you don't hear about Vegeta for about 30 episodes, I would say. So then the Majin Buu arc, I like it because it shows a lot of the desperation. All the Z fighters. All of them fight Majin Buu and they all lose. Like even Gohan, who is at this point the strongest character in the universe.
Right.
So then Goku's left and there's no one he can fight with. And he gets these Spatara earrings to fuse with somebody. If you guys know what fusion is, you know what I'm about to get at. So then I remember at the end of one episode, I watched this like a couple weeks ago. It ends with Vegeta getting his body back because King Yamin, I think his name is. He's like the god of the other world. They decide that they need another fighter. I don't know why they decided Vegeta, but that says something about his character, that they chose him. Out of everyone who's died in that show, they chose him. So they saw some good in him, and they saw that strength because he's actually starting to catch up with Goku. So at the end of the episode, it shows him with his crossed arms, his signature mannerism.
Right.
And then he meets Goku, and then mind you, he has pride, and Goku's like, Vegeta, if we don't fuse, we're gonna lose. And Vegeta's like, no, we can't do this. He's like, I refuse to fuse with you. Basically, fusion in that show is like when two characters become one. It's pretty cool. So then eventually, this is where you start seeing that character development again. He fuses with Goku. So when he fuses with Goku, they become Vegeta. That's like one of the fan favorite characters in that whole show.
Yeah.
Because it's like the pride of Vegeta, the skill of Goku, and they look the same. So then after they unfuse, because something happens, I'm not going to get into that too much, they have to use a spirit bomb on Majin Buu. So when they go to do the spirit bomb on Majin Buu, Vegeta, he uses King Kai to actually talk to the people of Earth because they wished them all back, yada yada yada. Well, the whole time you see him and he's actually kind of mad because you have people like Tien. So Vegeta killed Tien's friend like way back when we first started talking about Vegeta. So then Vegeta's like, oh, he's the bad guy. I can't help people out, but he's there. It shows that he's trying to get people to save the Earth. Because the spirit bomb requires people getting energy. Right. So now, after, mind you, Goku was his rival throughout this whole point. So after Vegeta helps Goku with the spirit bomb, he's laying on the ground because he got his butt kicked because he's basically distracting Buu by fighting him when Goku's building the spirit bomb.
Yeah.
So then it shows him on the ground. And he just gives a thumbs up to Goku, and there's some more stuff to the arc, but that ends the arc. Now we're going to fast forward to Super, where you actually see his the foil start to develop even more.
12 minutes later.
Yeah, 12 minutes later. I promise this won't go on much longer. So in Super, you see him training a lot, but it's kind of funny because you actually see him. He gets jealous because Goku goes, what's it called? Super Saiyan God. It's where he has the red hair. It's a good movie, and to do that, they needed 5 pure of heart Saiyans. Guess who one of the Saiyans was? Vegeta.
Yep.
So he's obviously pure part, so he's in all first senses. So that shows a foil. That shows that his character's changed already from being, let's kill everybody to that.
Right.
And then what's cool is after that, you get into the Return of Frieza arc. Remember Frieza all the way back when we talked probably about 10 minutes ago about this. Frieza does a cheap shot on Goku. Goku's about to die, and then Vegeta actually goes into the same Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan form, which is Super Saiyan Blue form as Goku. So he's at the same exact power level as Goku, and Frieza's like, if you kill Goku right now, we'll be friends. It's really odd. I wouldn't say it was forced, but it wasn't like okay.
Yeah.
And Vegeta's like, no, I need this numbskull so I can push myself and train myself harder. So that goes to show that his character's motivation has changed. It's not all about, hey, I want to beat Goku. It's like, hey, Goku's the motivation I need in life.
Exactly.
So then he beats the crap out of Frieza. He basically killed Frieza, but that's up for discussion. And then after that, we get into the arc in Dragon Ball Super. It's a tournament arc. It's about 5 or 6 episodes, I think, maybe 10. And basically they fight their counterparts, and not their counterparts, but people from another universe. Well, there's this one character, his name's Cabba. He is basically the Vegeta of that other universe. Mm-hmm. Completely opposite. And it's kind of cool because typically Vegeta would just, beat the crap out of him, call it a day. He actually teaches that guy to go Super Saiyan, okay. Which that's a big deal because, it's like a Saiyan thing. It's like, hey, you're my brother, even though he's from another universe. He's like, we're the same. It's that pride, but it's not cockiness, if that makes sense. So then after that, we get into this future Trunks arc in Dragon Ball Super. And this is where you really see him change. So Trunks comes back, in his future, Black and Samazu are just, killing everything. So there's a lot of scenes where Trunks is like off to the side crying about it, like because his girlfriend Mai is in the future. He thinks she's dead. And you see Vegeta actually comfort Trunks quite a bit. Like, he doesn't say, like, hey, you're weak, you're pathetic, like Vegeta's character is. He's like, hey, we'll save her, we'll fix this. He does that continuously. So, that's what's cool about his character. And one final point is actually in the last scene that you see future Trunks, he's about to leave, everyone's saying goodbye to Future Trunks, but you don't see Vegeta. All of a sudden, Vegeta comes out of nowhere, and he goes to punch Future Trunks. Now, he's not doing it out of malice, it's like a haha.
Right.
And then you see the looks in their faces, like Trunks is looking at Vegeta, Vegeta's looking at Trunks. So you see a lot of that, like, you know, he's actually a dad now. He's like a good dad.
More emotions.
Yeah, more emotions. It's not all about fighting. It's like, hey, I love my family and stuff. And then finally, one last thing I forgot to bring up. During the Battle of the Gods, when this just kind of shows how he has compassion, when Beerus almost kills Bulma, who is Vegeta's wife, Vegeta gets super mad. I'm talking like his power level actually went above Goku's power level this time. So that just goes to show he has that emotional connection to his wife and his kid now, and how that's actually, you know, that brings him power. So, well, man, that's...
Well, there you have it.
Foil
Thank
character.
you so much. Definition of a foil character.
All right,
everyone. Thank you.